So, hello everyone. Hope everybody is having a very good day. So, I'm Swathi from CodeKaroYaaro International Kids Coding School. So, in today's video, we are going to wrap up the thunkable application. Okay. So, in today's video, what I'm gonna give you is the key points whichever we have learned in thunkable. I'm going to only revise each and every point whichever I told you about coding, whichever I told you about thunkable application, and why is it so important about revision also. I'm gonna give you a few points. Okay, so first of all, what is coding? Coding is a kind of programming language which is used for communicating with the computers or any other devices. Okay, now, how is it used for communicating with the devices? Let me explain. So, if you want to communicate with another person, okay, how you are going to communicate? Communicate. You are going to communicate with a language, correct? So, either it can be any language, your mother tongue or English or any other languages, and use the sign languages also. We will communicate with the people, but if you want to communicate with the computers, we cannot communicate like that, right? So if we tell the computer, hey computer, just turn on, so will it work? Yes, some of the very brilliant kids will say that yes, we can use Siri or we can use hey Google, so to communicate with the systems. And that is not how it works. Even though if you are saying it in English, it has to be translated in a machine learning, okay, machine understandable language, which is binary language, and then only it will be able to understand what you're saying. Means whatever you're giving the input to the electronic devices, it will be converted into mission understandable language, which is zeros and ones, and it will give the instructions to the computer. And when we are receiving the output, okay, it will send you the signals in zeros and ones only, which is binary language. Then it will be converted into human understandable language, and it will be showing us the proper thing which we can understand. That is called as coding. Okay, now let me tell you one more time, one small line. So coding is a type of programming language which is used for communicating with the devices. Okay, now we are learning about thunkable. Now what is this thunkable? Let me give you a short definition of thunkable. Thunkable is a platform. It can be either installed in your systems or in your mobile phones, and it is used for creating mini applications, or it can be used for creating websites and all the other things. The main thing which we need to learn about thunkable is how to sign in. So everybody it is very easy to sign in into thunkable. Yes, it is easy, but the thing is thunkable only allows you to create 10 projects, 10 free projects in one particular account. Okay, so if I have created one account in thunkable, it will only allow me to create only 10 projects at a time. At a time is nothing but whenever you want you can create it, but only you can create 10 projects in a free account. But if you want to create it more than that, then you have to use different account, or if you have to use upgrade your account or something like that. Now how can we upgrade it? We have to pay some money for upgrading the course. Okay, now or else if you don't want to upgrade it by paying the money, and if you want to create more projects, you have to there are two options we have for that one too. So one option is you have to delete the application which you have already created, or you can just transfer that application to any other device. You can transfer the application into your mobile phone also, that will also work. And also you can delete it from your device, so it will be stored in your mobile phone. Or if you don't want to transfer it, then you have to switch the account. Okay, you have to create another email ID, or if you have another email ID, you can just log in using that one, and then you can just create 10 more free projects in that. So when you log in into your previous account, you will be having your projects, and when you're doing it in your new account, you will be having your projects. You can create it using as many accounts as you want. Okay, it is not like thunkable will only allow only two users, only 3 users, not like that. If you are having a new email ID, it will allow you to create 10 new projects which are free. Okay, so that is about thunkable. Now what are the things we have learned in thunkable? Let us just discuss. In the very first session I taught you about what is the meaning of thunkable and how to create a mini project in thunkable using buttons and labels and everything. Now what is this buttons and what is this labels? Let me tell you. Button is clickable. When you're previewing the application, when you create when you are getting the output of the application, when you click on the button some event will happen. But whereas in the labels you cannot do any thing, it will only just show you the text. Okay, that is the only thing difference we have in buttons and labels. And also I taught you about how to add a background image and how to add images and how to add audios, videos, and also how to add any other media source, and also yes, how to change the color of the text, make it bold, italic, font families, and I hope I taught you about how to change the background colors too, and what is the ID name, what is a text name, how to make the alignment to center, and also the most important part in thunkable, how to create a project in the previous version of thunkable. There are two versions of thunkable which we have, and I have also taught you how to create a project in new version and also in the old version. Okay, I hope everybody know that. And when I'm teaching that one, I taught you about variables. Now what is a variable, and how many types of variables we have, and what is cloud variable, what is local variable, what is global variable, and everything. And also how to write a code for different buttons, not only buttons, for different what do we say that, components, and what is a screen, what is property session, and what is component tree, and what is components, and how to add audios and videos, in which particular place we have to add, whether we can reuse the application, how to copy paste the code, and how to duplicate the entire screen. And the final part is what is errors, what is debugging, what is exception, what is testing, and everything I taught you. And also how to publish the application into your thunkable test app. That is most important thing in this entire journey of thunkable. Okay, now all these things I will just share my screen and I will show you each and everything a little by little, like how to do everything. Okay, but not now. But before that one, I'd like to discuss about one more important thing. Wait, I forgot. That is basics of thunkable. Till this video, okay, whatever you have learned, all are basics of coding and basics of thunkable. There are still so many other things which you need to learn about coding, and also this is only block type coding. Okay, if you want to write an actual code, that is also very important. Okay, so you can create applications, you can create websites and everything using thunkable, but those will be mini applications and mini games and mini websites, but not an actual game which you create. Like if you compare it using the code type coding, code type creating website and the normal website which we do in thunkable, you can see a very big change in them. Okay, so the basics, why I'm telling basics again and again is, basics are the foundation of what you learn in the future. Why? Because if I directly go to coding part where we are going to type the coding, and if I tell you about variable, and if I don't explain you what is a variable, so we are creating a variable called as x and we are inserting a value called as 10. So some of the people will understand, but most of them will get confused, like what is this variable actually? Is it only necessary to create it as x? And what are the types of variables we have? So how to create the variables? What are the principles of it? So if you are creating a variable called as 1, 2, 3, will it also be created and will it also be stored? So what kind of data can we store in the variables? Even I am getting so many questions. So you will not understand until you do it by yourself. Okay, so while I'm explaining it, you will feel like, oh yeah, this is so easy and this is interesting and everything. But when you're doing it on your own, you will get like hundreds of questions sometimes. Okay, so for neglecting all those things, okay, we are going to learn the basics in thunkable, and then we will go to the next one where we will increase the level. Okay, the basics are the foundation of what you're going to learn in the future. So if you're not understanding the basics properly, and if you're directly going to the complex codes where you're going to use an if condition, else condition, and all the other things, so it's gonna make it even more complex. Okay, so in this particular 9 to 10 videos, I have explained you about all the things whichever I need to tell you about the basics of coding, and also the basic stuff which you need to learn before going to the next platform. Okay, so now what I will do is I'm just going to share my screen and I will just revise everything. I'm not going to create a project over here. Okay, I'm making you clear, I'm not creating a project, but I'm going to show you what are the things we have learned in the previous lessons. Means what is button, how to use it, changing the background color, adding the images. So I'm just gonna give you small a thing where you are going to learn. So revising things, okay, revising is most important. Why, you tell me? So it will make your brain to switch. Oh yeah, this is what we have learned in the last class. Like that we are going to learn. Okay, so without any delay, I'm just going to share the screen and I'm just going to show you the things whichever we have learned. Okay, so wait, let me share my screen. So everybody, I think I can see my screen. So first things first, you have to log in thunkable application. So I'll just revise you one more time. So how to log in is, you just have to write thunkable and go to the application. So you have to sign in first, and then no need to sign in again and again. You can directly log in using your account, okay, whichever you have. So I'm just going to log in using my account. I don't need to log in again and again. So as you can see over here, I have already did 9 projects and I can do only one project left. Okay, so if you needed, you can delete the project whichever you don't need, or you can just switch the account, and switching the account is very easy. You just have to click over here. So account details, you have to switch account whichever you have. You can you have logged in your device. Okay, and then just create a new app and then give a name of the application, which is maybe revise I'm gonna give. So I'm just gonna make it as revise, and category, as I told you, you can select 1, 2, 3, 4 until 5. Maximum is 5, not more than that. Okay, so I'm just gonna select education, entertainment, and we have also learned about so I think education and entertainment are fine. So this is the most important thing over here. If you click over here, if you remove the tick mark, it's gonna go to the old version of it. If you give a tick mark, it is a drag and drop builder, which is a new version. Okay, and then click on create. So once you click on create, it is gonna look like this. 1 minute. Okay, it is loading. Yeah, I think you can see. So this is the thing. So on the left side top corner, you can see component tree. In this component tree, you will be seeing what are the things, what are the components you have added and how many screens you have created in a short form. It's gonna show you over here. And in the bottom, you can see add components. So components can be divided into 2 types of components. One is visible component and invisible component. So what is that visible and invisible components is? Visible component is whenever you are adding that particular component in your particular screen, that will be visible when you're giving the output. But invisible component, it will show you when you're designing, but it will not show you when you're previewing the application. So that is invisible component. Okay, basically for invisible components and visible components, you can write the code. I'm not saying you cannot write it for anything. You can write the code for both of them, but when you're adding sound, when you're adding video player, when you're adding animation or data storage, which is local storage and all the other things, so no need to show that information to the user. So all those kinds of what do we say, that components will be invisible, where only the programmer, the one who created the application, will be able to see it. Okay, now over here on the right hand side, you can see that is a property section. So a property section is used for changing the properties. Okay, like for example, if you want to change anything, the color, the image, adding images, font size styles, not only for the screen but also for the components. Okay, that is one. Now in the middle, the most important part, it is the screen. Okay, a screen is a place where you are going to add the images and all the other things. Now, oh wait, sorry, sometimes it happens. And now in the top you can see web preview. So it is used for previewing the application. So when you click on it, it's going to show you what are the components you have added and how it is looking and all the other things. Okay, now first things first, if you want to add a background image, so how to add it? So first you need to go to a new tab. So which image do you need? So if you already have an image in your system, how to add it? So click on this background. Click on, if you're selecting a color, it will add a color. You can customize your colors to whatever color you need it. So it's completely your wish. So you can select the colors and everything. Or if you want to add the images, click on image and then click source file. So you have to select whether you're going to upload the image from your device or whether you're typing the URL. So if you're typing the URL, you just have to remove this HTTP and then paste the image link. Okay, image address link please. Or else if you're uploading the image, click on upload files and then you have to go to the desktop. Like I have saved it in the desktop. So balloons maybe, yeah, and then click on open. That one will be shown over here. Asset is added, as you can see. Okay, so whether you are going to upload the image or putting the link of the image, that is completely whatever you wanted to create, you can create it. And also one more thing, you can rename the entire screen. And how to do that? Click on the screen one and you can rename it like welcome screen or the type of screen which you are making. Okay, welcome screen. And if you want to create a 2 or more screens, so click on plus button beside the screen and you can have a completely different new screen, so that you could add either adding the images, or if you want it as a plain one, you can do it. So in this particular screen, let me upload the image link. So click on the new tab and images. I'm just gonna add some random images. No, cartoon maybe. So it's not like you have to only add cartoon, but I will feel comfortable when it comes to cartoons and everything. It gives me satisfaction and relaxation to my mind. So whichever thing you needed, you can add it. Okay, so which one maybe? Oh yeah, right click and then copy image address, go back to thunkable, click on background and then click on image, click on no source file, type URL, remove the HTTP, paste. See, that looks so cute. Now click on this type. Sorry. Messed up. Okay, now fine. Now one more thing we have over here is resize mode. Okay, so you can contain it, or you can stretch it, or you can repeat it, or you can make it center, or you can make it cover. Okay, so normally I keep it in cover, so whichever scenario you need it, you can do it. Okay, and now what is the next thing? How to duplicate the page. Okay, so duplicating is nothing but we are going to make a copy of that screen. Okay, so it might include the components whichever we have in it. Okay, so let us take an example. I'm just gonna go to screen 1 and I'm gonna add buttons. So as I already told you, button is an event kind of thing. When you're previewing the web page or previewing your application, when you click on the button, it will do some actions. Okay, so when you're clicking on a button, some new event will be happening. Okay, that is button. So now when you're adding a button, can change, resize it whichever size you need it. I'm just gonna resize it over here too, over here one, here one. Okay, now click on button 1. I'm gonna rename this button number 2 as, let's go, maybe. Now that is ID place in the button over here. Whatever you're writing in the text, it will be showing on the screen. Okay, let's go. And once you have added it, you can make it big like this. Adjust it according to your need. Okay, it's not like mom is doing like this, I have to do the same thing, not like that. Okay, now for the button one, I'm not going to rename anything. I'll tell you why. Okay, so click on let's go. You can change the properties of it, like for example the font size, font style, you can keep it anything. Text color, maybe black will be good, or red will be good, or any other color, customized color you like. I'll make it bold if you want italic, or if you want to raised. Okay, now raised is nothing but it will highlight it kind of thing, like a little bit. Okay, so it's gonna show you highlighting way. Okay, now change the font size, okay, now that is good. Now what is this disabled abled is? You're gonna make it visible or invisible. Okay, now X position, Y position, width and height, or these things properties which we have, and resize mode for the button also we have, and then visible, invisible. Now what is the difference between the disable and able, and over here visible? Now what is the difference between them is, disabled is nothing but it is not going to show you the background, but it's going to show you the text inside it. Okay, when it comes to invisible, you cannot see anything, everything will be gone. Okay, it's like a hiding button. Now everything shadow, so if you want to add the shadow like this, we cannot see it in the button, but you can see it when you are previewing it. Okay, and now the border style, shadow, and the background color, maybe any color you like. And over here for the background, I'm gonna add a bar, image. Click on image, no source file, type URL. I'm gonna paste the same thing, Control V. Okay, so now resize mode, center. Oh no, center is too big. Contain, that looks so good. If you wanna make it repeat, that is kind of not good. Cover, now I cannot see the face. We can make it stretch. Yeah, that looks fine. I can see the entire image and the button and everything. Okay, now what is the next thing is, I'll show you how to duplicate the buttons. Not only the buttons, the components. Let us take an example. We have a label, we have an image. Image is also kind of similar thing. Okay, you can just resize it and keep it wherever you need it. So scroll up, picture, balloons, maybe you can add it. Once you have added the image, no need to add it again and again. But for the URL, you have to keep the URL again and again. But you have uploaded it, then no need to upload it again and again. Once it is uploaded, you can use it anytime you need it. Okay, so all the other things we have it over here, background and border and all the other things. For picture, you will not be having background. Okay, so now how to duplicate something. Okay, let us take an example, this image. Click on this image. Over here you can see delete, you can see rename. So you have to, if you want to delete it, you have to click on delete. If you want to rename the name of the ID, you have to rename it. And also you can also be doing that in the property section. So click on this, duplicate, and you can get another one like this. Okay, and if you want to duplicate the entire screen, can you see that? 1, 2 and 3. Now when you're duplicating a screen with the components, all the components also will be duplicated. It's not like it will only, I have only selected the screen, it should only duplicate the screen. No, not like that. When you're selecting the screen and duplicating it, each and every component belongs to that particular screen. So when you duplicate the screen, the entire screen will get duplicated. Okay, that is about duplicating it. Now what is the next thing I did not teach you? So here media, we have animation, video, and loading icon is nothing but it is going to buffering kind of thing. It looks make like it will make your application look good. Okay, now what is the other thing is, over here on the left hand side we have designer, next one data. So if you click on data, it's gonna show you the data which you have added, because we did not add anything. But if you are adding any data from the drive or anything, it will be showing over here. Now assets is nothing but the media which you have added will be shown over here. Over here you are going to add anything. You can also add images, videos, audios, or any other media source. You can add it in the assets. Once you are adding it in the assets, you can use it in anywhere in the entire application. That is completely your wish where you are going to use it. And here we will be having a settings icon where you will be having basic setting things and everything. Now the next part, very important part, the blocks. So in Thunkable, I forgot to tell you one thing. We don't have a specific programming language which we do in Thunkable. So Thunkable is a platform where we are going to use block based coding for designing an application or designing a game or designing a website. Okay, we don't have a specific name for this programming language, where we are going to learn about all the basic things over here. Okay, like what is control, in the control what all things we have. So if you're seeing anywhere, so it belongs to the controlling the screen or controlling the components. Now logic is whether it is equal to if two conditions are true, then like that, logical thinking kind of thing. Math you already know, so any kind of mathematical operation can be seen in math. And the text is nothing but if you want to show a text in the website, when you're previewing it, you can show it over there. So in the same way, we also have the UI components. UI components are nothing but for the components which you have added, you can write the code for it. Okay, in Thunkable, no, we are going to mention from where the code need to be started and where it has to end. We are going to decide as a programmer. So we have each and everything. For welcome screen we have, and loading icon for welcome screen. Why? Because I have selected welcome screen. If you select second welcome screen, that will be here. Screen 1, that will be here. So when you go to welcome screen, what are the components you have added will be over here. Now let's go over here. So when I change the name in the ID for the button, that name will be over here. That is not a text. Okay, the ID which I have changed in the very top. So when you change it in the top, it will be helpful for you to identify for which button you are writing the code. Okay, like you are adding 4 to 5 buttons, and each and every button will be button 1, button 2, button 3, button 4, button 5. Everything will be buttons, but we don't know that if we have jiggled it, over here one, over here one, over here one. So every time when you are writing the code, you have to go back to designing part. You have to check for which button we have to write, and then come to the blocks, and we have to write for that one. It will be very laggy, and it will consume a lot of time. Okay, so for that one, we are going to rename it in the ID so that it will be very helpful for us to identify for which we are writing the code. Okay, now the next one over here is for images also you can write it. For buttons also you can write it. For labels also you can write it. Even for loading icon you can write the entire thing. Okay, that is the thing over here. For each and every component you have added, you can control those components using the blocks. Okay, now if you go down, these app features which you can see, all these components are invisible components. So these components we cannot see it when you create when you're previewing it. So you can only write the code and you can just leave it like that. So it will only be known to the the application developer who has developed it. Okay, now these are all about the blocks which we have. So let us write a small one. So when you click on let's go, now I'll go to control, wait for 1 second, and then navigate to welcome screen. Again welcome 1, actually we have to make it the next screen. We are going to go to the next screen. Again what I'm gonna do, I'll go to control and I'm gonna wait for 2 seconds, maybe like 5 seconds, and then again I'm going to navigate to the screen 1. Again I'll go to control, wait for 1 second, and I'm gonna make it 5 seconds, and then navigate to the welcome screen. Now what is this code is about? Here you can play with the code, okay? So you can do your exciting things, okay? It's not like you're creating a very serious, we have to create a very serious application, but in a very fun way, okay? So let us go to design and let's see what will happen to it. So when I click on web preview, so it's gonna be in label 1. Now when I click on let's go, it will go to the welcome 1 screen. Now again it will wait for 5 seconds and it will go for the next screen, and again it will wait for another 5 seconds and it will come back to the welcome screen. Okay, now this is what happened, okay? So the coding part for this one will be really very easy. Only thing you need to know is how to use them properly and when to use them, and with with component, which component you have to use over there, you have to know. That's it, okay? If you know when, how to use a component and how to use a block and how to use that particular block anywhere, you can create some magic over here. So now see, I'll go to blocks again. Now after welcome screen, I'll go to welcome screen. Also you can write set welcome screen's background color to red green, and then let's go to control. We will be having repeat 10 times, and not this one actually. We'll go to colors. Random color. Now let's see what will happen, okay? Okay. Let's see. Oh, we have the image, right? Okay. That's why it's not working. Let's go to click. Let's go. It'll go to the next one, and then it's gonna go to the next screen. Over here. Oh, why is it not showing the color? Is we have the background image. No, wait, let me remove the image. Go to blocks. Go to welcome. Okay. Background picture 2. We have to remove this. One minute. Oh, we don't have to remove that. Okay, no problem. So we can make it a little bit more fun, okay? You can change the colors and everything. So let me just click on this. Let me just go over here. Background color. Image. I'm gonna remove this. I'll just keep it like this, and then I'm gonna preview it. Let's check now. Now I'm gonna click on let's go. Last time we're gonna check it. Oh yeah, that looks good. Now it's gonna come back. See, it's gonna change the picture of it. Like, the background color was different and now it is different. Okay, we are going to change the colors again and again. So why it's not changing over there is we did not keep it like, wait for 1 second or 2 seconds. That's why. Okay, that is how we are going to do some coding part and everything. And the last thing we are going to learn is about variables. Okay, so variables is nothing but it is a kind of storage device which is used for storing the data. Okay, that is also very important thing. So storing the data in the sims, it can store any kind of data. Either it can be a number, or either it can be a letter, either it can be a word or anything. So it is used for changing the value of a particular variable again and again when you're playing a game. Okay, so these are the things. And how to create a variable is initialize a variable. Initializing a variable name you have to give over here like this, and then go to math. So in the very beginning, what is the score you want to be, you have to keep it over there. So initializing a variable is nothing but creating a variable. Understood? So these are all the things which we are going to learn, we have already learned in Thunkable. So I hope everybody enjoyed the sessions, and I hope everybody will be creating a lot of interesting projects just like this. Okay, so this is about Thunkable application. Thank you for listening and have a great day. Bye bye.